What's up, duelists? It's your boy Keegan here, and I've got this brand new banned list. This is like kid on Christmas shit for Yu-Gi-Oh players. Getting a new ban list is like, finally, that deck that I hated got wrecked, or that deck that I love got unbanned, or whatever. So we're just gonna take a look at this. We're gonna take a look. We're gonna take a look-sees, take a little peek, take a quick little. First thing I see, Arch Nemesis Brodos is banned. Good. Fuck that card. That card is fucking lame. If you guys don't know what Arch Nemesis Brodos does, is it shows up to your party uninvited, and then it scares all the hoes away. You know what I'm saying? Like, all the chicks leave when Brodos pulls up. They're like, yo, dog, like, what's up with this guy? Like, he's kind of weird, He's like, got like a snake face or some shit. Yeah, fucking shit. Banned. Not coming back here, on parole, fucking on a watch list. Arch Nemesis Protos, not out here. Ava, banned. If you guys don't know what Ava is it be looking like Olimar from Pikmin, I don't really fuck with this card. I really like fairy cards, as you guys know from my videos, obviously. But I don't really fuck with this card. This card is degenerate. You just fool as shit using like effects, and then you search a bunch of heralds, and then you just kind of say get fucked to your opponent, more or less. So I'm pretty happy with that getting banned. Next up, new card on the list, Simorg, Bird of Sovereignty. Good. Fuck this shit. This card is broken. You could like summon out the fucking barrier statue from your deck and then shut your opponent's whole plan off. I don't like cards like this. They're lame. And it activated every turn. This card was really broken, actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, this card is really, really broken. Because if you don't, like, let's say you manage to break the board but can't get rid of the Simorg, they just rebuild the exact same board. Like, what the fuck? That ain't cool. Good thing it's banned. Imperial Order banned. Thank God. Why was this ever unbanned? This is a question. I wonder if Konami does these things, right? They do these things just to get us talking, right? They do these things just to get us mad. Because we can't have a perfect ban list, right? We can't be happy with everything. And as you'll see later in the list, there's something that I think they did because they want us to be pissed off, They want us to be mad about something. They want us to be bitching about something, creating some buzz, creating some stuff. That's probably why Imperial Order was unbanned in the first place. But I am super happy to see it go. This card is not fun to play against. Cards like this in general, it's like, you didn't even outplay your opponent, You didn't even play the game. What's the point at that point, Like, you're just fucking high rolling for money at that point. I don't really fuck with that shit. Next card that was unbanned is Astrograph Sorcerer. I don't know what the fuck that card does. And I'm not going to look it up. Stupid ass name. But the next card, Destrudo, the Lost Dragon's Frisson. You know what I'm saying? This is my boy. This is my dog. This is like the Plague Spreader Zombie of current. If you play Edison format, this card is badass. This card goes hard. It enables like a lot of OTK shit. Fuck with this card heavy. Super happy it's back. Honestly, if it's a dragon and it's banned and it's not Protos or whatever, like, I'm about it. Coming off the list. I'm super happy to see this come off the list. This is going to buff up my Dragon Link deck, so pretty happy about that. Next card that was unbanned is Fairy Tale Snow. This card is super cool. This is like one of the coolest cards. It's like a Book of Moon kind of thing that you can just reuse, and it comes back from the graveyard, and it like banishes stuff in your graveyard, so it activates. This card is sick. This card's going to be played in like the Thunder Dragon deck and stuff. Oh, such a cool card. When you play cards like this, your deck has to be really sweet and full of like tech shenanigans. So I love this card. Really happy to see it unbanned. Next up, Lunalight Tiger. I don't know what this card does. I've never heard of it in my life. We're not even going to look it up. Who gives a shit? I'm sure it's like some like degen shit, but they probably unbanned it because they thought it would be fine. I don't know. Doesn't seem that broken because I haven't read it. But if I read it, it'd probably still seem too confusing for me to understand. Next up, limited Lyrilusk Recital Starling. Good. Fuck that deck. That deck is so annoying. They just go first and they summon like 50 monsters that don't die. I hate this shit. Also hate Tri-Brigade. Pussy ass deck. Next up, Monster Gate limited. This is kind of sad, you know? This is kind of sad because the Infernoid deck wasn't even doing anything. But then they had to go and hit Monster Gate anyway. Makes me wonder if there's going to be something that breaks Monster Gate later on. But Monster Gate ever being off the ban list feels like stupid. Feels kind of... This is a broken card. This card in Reasoning, which I'm assuming is also on here. Yep, Reasoning is also on here. Reasoning and Monster Gate, they should never not be on the ban list. That's just like, come on, man. Like, Reason Gate. Pot of Desires. Now, this is actually a really interesting one. This is one I want to talk about a lot. Pot of Desires being limited. I think this is a great decision. I think some decks, like Sword Soul and like the Lyrilusk deck, they were so fucking good. And then on top of being so fucking good, they got to play 3 Pot of Desires. And it's so oppressive, right? Because they just have this, like, they get to play 3 Pot of Greed. When they go second and they draw Pot of Desires, it's like they have so many cards. And they can play through everything. The reason they can play these cards is because, like, okay, they have 3 of everything in their deck. And then the chances of them banishing, like, 3 of something that matters is very, very low off of Pot of Desires. But there's other decks, right? Like, there's other decks that have been around longer that are maybe have their power cards are limited, right? They can't play Pot of Desires because all of a sudden they're banishing their one of, like, fucking Zodiac guy, or they're one of, like, White Dragon, or whatever. Like, you can't play Pot of Desires in decks that aren't, like, the newest deck. And I think that's fucking lame. It's basically saying, like, cards that you had before you can't play with because the newest deck, the deck that hasn't been hit by the ban list yet always gets to play the best draw card, which is Pot of Desires. So I'm happy that Pot of Desires is here. This makes me happy. I don't really like this card in general. I think it's like Pot of Greed, but not everything can play it. It's like Pot of Greed, but like exclusive, right? Like not pay to win, but just, yeah, it is kind of pay to win. It enables pay to win, which I don't love. Fuck that shit. All right, now we're getting to the juicy stuff. The juicy stuff, semi-limited. A lot of new semi-limited cards. A Hero Lives. Hero players, poggers. This card is based for hero decks. This card is really, really sweet. It's a busted-ass starter. Really like this card. Really like it coming off the ban list here, too. Because I don't think it's, like, so broken, right? But I do like that the hero deck gets support. Because that deck is sweet. Dark Law, Phoenix Enforcer, all that stuff is hella sweet. Fusion Destiny, semi-limited from unlimited. Honestly, a fair play, a fair move. I'm happy they didn't hit Phoenix Enforcer at all. And also, this still lets you, Predaplant into it. But it doesn't just let you, like, slam 3 of these into your deck and draw it every time as, like, a combo ender. I think this is a good hit for this. I might even like to see it go to 1. But I think 2 is a good start for Fusion Destiny. Because I didn't want to see Phoenix Enforcer go. I think Phoenix Enforcer makes for really good games. Really, really fun Yu-Gi-Oh! Interactive stuff. But I think Fusion Destiny in general, 2 is a good number. 2 is a good number. Not spammable. Same thing with Nadir Servant. I think Nadir Servant was too powerful. It's like a Rhoda, but it gives you either a modal destruction or a modal, like, tutor or whatever. This card is so broken. Nadir Servant probably should just be at 1. But if it was at 1, then no one would play it. So I think 2 is fine. I think 2 is fine for Nadir Servant. I'm happy it went to 2. Because it was a little too spammable. No cap. Salaman Great Circle. I don't think this will affect the deck that much. That deck sucks anyway. And Scapegoat going to 2. I don't think that matters. I'm going to be honest. I don't really even know why it was at 1 to begin with. It doesn't really do anything. Does it? I guess you can make a bunch of links, but, like, what then? You know what I mean? What then? Alright. Now the extreme juicers. Danger Nessie. Unlimited. Fuck yeah. Fucking love the danger cards. So sweet. There isn't a deck that plays the danger cards that's lame. All of the danger decks, or all of the danger cards, are really sweet. Their design is really sick. The way they function is really cool. The way they combo with other cards is super cool because they get their effect no matter what if you, like, discard them. So, like, let's say you have something like Red Eyes Dark Dragoon, and then you discard Danger Nessie to negate something with your Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. Then your Danger Nessie effect activates. It's so sick. These are such sick card design. Super cool card to see come off the list. Skull Crobat Joker, also a sick card to see come off the list. I mean, being at 2, being at 3, obviously isn't going to make that much of a difference, but happy to see it there. The biggest one, Dragon's Best deck, baby. Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon at 3 from out 1. See, why didn't this happen a long time ago? I guess it makes sense because they didn't want to have Dragon Link being the best deck with like triple Striker Dragon and stuff. At the same time, having 3 Red Eyes Darkness Metal for follow-up. But at the same time, they errated it, right? It's hard once per turn now, so you can't just like pop off with this card like you used to be able to. Most decks probably will still only play 1 anyway. So it being at 3 is super pog. Really like this card being off the ban list. It's like one of the coolest cards for follow-up in the Dragon deck. It's a beat stick. It helps OTK stuff. It's like, it's just a fun card to play. You guys know it from Edison. In current, it's a little bit worse. It's like super nerfed because of the errata, but it's still really fun to play with. Love the card design of this. Super happy to see it off the list. Same thing with Emergency Teleport. Such a fun card. And there's a cool little combo engine in this format, in current format, where you can Emergency Teleport for Psyreflector. Psyreflector sends the Assault Beast, whatever. You make an instant Stardust Assault mode. Emergency Teleport is a 1-card Assault mode, which is really sick. That's so fun. The fact that you get to play Stardust Dragon Assault mode in current format, and it's actually like not the worst thing you can be doing, is super cool. Love this card. Regeki to 3. Poggers. Let's go. Regeki, you know what? Put Harpy's Feather Duster to 3 too while we're at it. I was talking about this in the Discord the other day. I don't think Regeki to 3, Monster Reborn to 3, and Harpy's Feather Duster to 3 would really change much. Most of the good decks have their own like Monster Reborn or Harpy's Feather Duster or whatever, and Lightning Storm's already at 3, and people still aren't even playing that. Like, most decks right now maybe play Harpy's Feather Duster. Maybe. Like, they don't play Regeki. They don't play Monster Reborn. That's because these cards are dead early. Like, they are not starters. They don't start your combos. So, I don't even think that it would matter if all of these cards went to 3. Maybe Harpy's Feather Duster would matter a little bit for back row decks, but that's pretty much it, really. I'm really happy to see Regeki come to 3. I think it's like, at this point, like, Dark Hole's at 3. Nobody plays it. Regeki's at 1. Nobody plays it. Just put it at 3 at this point. Cool card. Cool card to see unlimited. I wonder if it'll see play now that it's like more consistently. You can draw it like at 3, but whatever. And then the last one is Skill Drain. So this is like the only thing on the list that I've seen people complain about besides their Precious Bird deck got nerfed. And honestly, I don't think it's that big of a deal. The spell and trap removal in current format is so good. And Skill Drain doesn't even negate like graveyard effects or hand effects. So Skill Drain is like not even stopping like, I don't know, a quarter or a third of the broken shit you're trying to do. Like, yeah, of course, it's very good. Don't get me wrong. It's like one of the best floodgates in the game. But it's still like it's not negating stuff that's off the field. You can do stuff with like, I don't know, Forbidden Droplet or whatever. You can do stuff to play around Skill Drain. Like, you can put your monster out of play in response to their effect to like, you know, get around Skill Drain. So I don't think Skill Drain is like that big of a deal. I know a lot of people are complaining Mystic Mine didn't get banned too, but I also think Mystic Mine is fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Yeah, it's annoying, and like for coverage it's annoying because like sometimes you like activate it and then it's just like 30 turns of draw go, which nobody enjoys that. And I think for that reason maybe it should be banned, but I don't know. I don't know. Skill Drain to 3 doesn't matter. I think this is not going to make a difference. I think the only deck that will maybe play it is Eldritch. Maybe. You know, like Gren Maju doesn't even play this. Like DGen decks don't even play this shit. So I don't see it. I guess like the Mystic Mine like burn decks might play it, but it overlaps with Mystic Mine in a way that's like they both do the same thing, you know? Like, so you don't really need 6 copies of that. And Skill Drain doesn't stop you from getting like OTK'd, right? It doesn't stop your opponent from summoning a bunch of monsters and just attacking you directly for game. So I don't know. I don't think this card is that bad at 3. I think it's totally fine. Maybe people will start main decking Spell and Trap Hate, which, honestly, good. They should be doing that anyway. Like, I don't mind it in formats, like, when decks have to play Spell and Trap removal to, like, out shit that's gonna fuck them. I don't know. We'll see. Overall, I'm really happy with this list. I think it's really good. Arch Nemesis Protoss being banned was my biggest request. I could have lived with no other moves if Protoss was banned. But all these other moves I'm pretty happy with. Especially, I think Destrudo is one of the biggest things I'm happy about. And the Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon I'm super happy about as well. Obviously, I'm a Dragon player, so, you know, that's where we're at. That's where we're at. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace out.